Everyone's talking about Prosper and Frisco and even Salina these days, but hardly anybody talks about Providence Village. And honestly, I think they're missing something. It's on the very edge of Denton County, next to Collin County. We're going to talk about what it's like to live here, the good, the bad, and the surprises. And stay with me to the end because I'm going to take you to one of my favorite little spots here in Providence Village that the locals love. By the way, something I wanted to give you here is I recently watched the film that came out about George Washington for the celebrating 250 years of the United States. I believe it was called Young Washington. Anyway, one of the words that gets thrown around in there is Providence. It's something that used to be more of in our vocabulary. And Providence usually refers to divine guidance, care, or the protective guardianship of God over nature or the universe. Sometimes it means foresight, prudence, or the careful and wise management of resources. So, it's one of those words that to me is we don't use in our everyday vernacular, but it sort of makes me feel like this neighborhood has been smiled upon with the name Providence Village. That's just me, but let me know what you think. Okay, and I'm going to give you 7 pros and 7 cons. The first pro is that you're going to get incredible value close to Prosper and Frisco. Looking at the map, you're a little further from Dallas than what you might think you're going to be when you actually get in the car and drive it when you get here. So we're going to go over that on the map, but you're getting better value. Providence Village used to be part of Aubrey, Texas, and it was incorporated and pulled out of the town of Aubrey and made its own. But still, mostly people don't know about it. They usually just refer to it as Aubrey because this whole area around it's the same zip code, and it is often just sort of lumped together. But one of the biggest reasons people buy in Providence Village is price, more bang for your buck. You are close to Denton, Prosper, Little Elm, Frisco, DFW Airport, McKinney. You still can get to a lot of places. You are very conveniently located in between Lake Ray Roberts and Lake Lewisville. Years ago, you come down 380, it felt like the middle of nowhere, and 380's gone through a lot of growing pains, but it doesn't feel like that anymore. If you've just been looking at homes in Prosper and Frisco and we just can't afford anything, it might be that you want to look at Providence Village, or you just don't want to pay that much. It might be a good place to look. Another reason people like to live here is because of all the little ponds, and there are some houses that you literally walk out your back door and you're out on a little lake. So that's kind of cool. Okay, but the downside is if you are commuting to downtown Dallas, downtown Fort Worth, Las Colinas, any place like that, the traffic is real and you have to get up early to start your drive. So that can really take a toll. Just quickly, some drive times. Let me pull up the map. Okay, here we are. I've outlined Providence Village. It's right off 380. And most of what's outlined here is some of the area that's been built out for quite a while. The southern part was the one part that went in the early 2000s. And then it's been building out, going, northward since. And new construction is still in Providence Village. Now let's zoom out a little bit. Okay, because here, look, it's not even showing up anymore. No, we can't see it. There it is, right there. This little bitty stair step shape here is Providence Village. This looks like, we're at almost 7 o'clock and it's 6:45, and to go to downtown Dallas would be about 52 minutes, not quite an hour. And to go to downtown Fort Worth, you're looking at a similar amount of time, about an hour. Now to get to Denton, you're looking at 19-20 minutes, which is not bad, and it's a really straight shot. To get to the airport, you've really got 2 options. You either can come down the tollway, or you go across Lake Lewisville and come down 35. It's going to be 38, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, something like that. I'd say about 40 minutes a lot of times, but you always want to give extra time for the airport. Now here's something that's really cool. Although right now it's showing 42 minutes to a little bit longer than I thought it would be at this time, to Lake Ray Roberts. Okay, now this is to Lake Ray Roberts up here to the state park. There's also, in about 20 minutes, you can get to the southern side of Lake Ray Roberts down here. So depending on where you're going, Lake Ray Roberts can be pretty accessible. And So for you PGA lovers, this is PGA right now, 16 minutes to the PGA right now. So, they have some cool things. They've got, like on Saturday nights, they have drone light shows. So this is becoming more of where you can go do things, without having to even go all the way to Prosper. But even Prosper, here's like the Cut Cinemark. That's actually Frisco. Prosper's just north. You've got the gates of Prosper down here where you could do all kinds of dining and shopping also. But there is a 10-hole, 3-par golf course. You can just show up and do a little mini round of golf at the PGA. They've got the ice house to get burgers, barbecue, hang out outside. On Friday nights, they have a big movie screen up. The Apron Kitchen, I love that. Really nice brunch on Saturday and Sunday mornings. That's probably going to go up and get more expensive once, the PGA is hosted here in 2027. There's also the Lounge by Top Golf. It's not really shown on here, but I think it's like right here. There's the clubhouse and anybody can go there, and it's got the little golf shop and really nice place to have a really good steak dinner. And I think a lot of people don't know about it, but so you can go out for a date night and just go down there and valet park and have a wonderful dinner and just look out the window on the golf course. So that's not so bad. This whole discussion brings me to my next big pro. This road right here, running east to west, is Highway 380. And it's also called University because it runs all the way to Denton to Texas Women's University and UNT. But it has gotten so much better. Lots of lanes have been opened, lots of overpasses. So, it is nothing like it was before. Anybody that lived here 5 years ago, some people just moved. Like, it was really, really tough. And it would turn into a parking lot. But now, it's a lot better. Now, the con side, you still have roads like, 1385 right here. A lot of these back roads are still 2-lane, lots of cars going back and forth, not necessarily any stoplights. And there's going to be growing pains as those roads get widened and they, more lanes get added and stoplights and turning lanes and medians and all of those things, because more commercial and more shops with all the rooftops coming up here, more of all of that is coming. In fact, there's a Super Target that is just about to open by the time I publish this, which is very soon. So the Super Target, this road right here, 720, right here is a Super Target that's coming in. So that's really exciting for the Providence villagers. Row number 3, retail keeps getting better. Like I just said, the Target is coming in. We used to just have the Aldi's, which was great. Love Aldi's. Then a Sprouts came, a Kroger's opening. There's a Walmart that's been here for a while. And now the Super Target's opening. H-E-B owns some land. We don't know what's going to happen with that. But also just down the road, on the way to the PGA, is Costco and an H-E-B and tons of fast foods. A Rose Couture nail salon is opening by the Costco. Very excited. And it's all pink and fun inside. Now, for major nightlife, shopping, dining, you're probably still driving to Denton or Frisco or Prosper, or maybe you want to get to Dallas, but really you don't have to go further than Frisco. And I love going to downtown McKinney. I just think downtown McKinney is fabulous. The pro is that retail is getting better, and then the con is you're still going to be driving for some distance for a lot of your nightlife and entertainment. Now, another big pro is that it actually feels like a neighborhood in Providence Village. You see families out walking their dogs, on their golf carts, going to the pool, fishing at the pond, walking on the trails, showing up for the great fireworks display for 4th of July. Everybody loves to go to that. You see neighbors playing ball at the parks, playing baseball. You see people sitting on their porches. These neighborhoods have porches, which is great. It's a little different look. And the porches sort of, I think, bring people out a little bit more than some neighborhoods. So Providence Village was one of the earlier Huffines communities, master plan communities that got put together. And so this is one of it was just kind of out here in 380, like, why would anybody live out there? But they were putting in the pools and the fun. And, it was one of the earlier ones that had all the fun stuff in the neighborhood for families to get out and mingle with each other. And so it has that small town feel that a lot of communities are trying to recreate. But now I will say, if you are dreaming of the con side, is if you're dreaming of a big backyard, that's not going to be in Providence Village. Even though some of these houses were built in the early 2000s, the backyards are not huge. But you do have a neighborhood with all these, it feels like a neighborhood, partly because of those amenities. And, there's even a workout area at the clubhouse, or you could rent the clubhouse. It was one of the first neighborhoods to do all this and have a dog park and all these little pocket parks around, multiple pools. Okay, the next pro is you're going to have a choice of two different schools or two different school districts. You got Aubrey ISD on the northern portion and Denton ISD for other portions of the neighborhood. And both of those, Aubrey gets an overall niche grade of B. You're going to feed into Aubrey High School. And then Denton ISD gets an overall grade of B. And you're going to feed into Broswell High School, which is on 380. You will drive by it. Now, something that's new is while some communities like Plano ISD is actually shutting down elementaries and getting, the population's aging and they're not in school anymore, Denton ISD is growing, and that's where part of Providence goes to. And in fact, there is the 5th high school. And I talk about this in one of my Denton videos. The 5th high school, it's yet to be named. It's going to be right at Naylor Road and 380, very, very close to Providence Village. I would not be surprised, although I don't know who's going to be going to those schools, but it may be some of the people moving into Providence Village. Who knows? So we'll find out soon. It's going to open 2027. And so the con is, though, you really want to look at what schools. Like, look at those ratings and go, do I want my kids to go this elementary, this middle, this high school, and compare, because you may like some of those, you may not. You want to find out what, exactly where you're going. And, it can change. I mean, look, it's a new high school is being built. So, where you're going to go can change because of the growth in this area. And you do have to be, careful, because you could think you're going to one school and it's another school. And number 7, last but not least, is that this growth means potential appreciation. So we're seeing growth in Aubrey, Crossroads, Krugerville, all these areas, especially north of Providence Village and Aubrey. Lots of new construction. I think Aubrey's kind of becoming like the new Frisco, Prosper kind of area. It still has a little bit better value than maybe even Salina, because Salina is following the Dallas North Tollway. So it is following where all those high rises and all of these businesses are coming to. So it's a little bit less convenient, but that's also where you're getting the good value. On the con side, as it grows, more rooftops, more people, more congestion, and there's growing pains. The rooftops go, the schools follow, the retail follows, all of this, and you're just watching it happen, and there's no stopping it. So the place I want to take you is, there's a little place here off of Main Street, and it's called Fortunata Winery. And I wanted to take you there so you can see, they have these really good wood-fired pizzas. They used to just be open on Saturday. I think they open on Sunday too now, Friday. It's not every day of the week, but you want to go early so you can get your wood-fired pizza. And they even have some dessert ones, like their margarita one's really popular. And they have like a dessert one with like some apple cinnamon, and then one that's Nutella. So you don't have to like wine, you can like pizza. It's good. And I went on a day it was closed, and I made some little feathery friends. Before you move here, this might be for you, or it might drive you crazy. If you can, book a Zoom. I'm Janae Reeder. My team and I, we're happy to help you figure out where to live in Dallas, Texas. And if it's a fit for you, just remember, don't delay. Call Janae, whether it's a week, a year, or a month. We would be honored to help you make that Texas transition and help you figure out where the best place is for you here in DFW. Okay, here we are at Providence Village. You can see one of the lakes right by me.
that is catch and release, and people are out on this beautiful spring day enjoying the lake. There's actually a fountain in the middle that's not on right now, but usually it is on. Here I'm at the intersection of Fish Trap Road and Main Street in Providence Village. And Providence Village is a pretty new town carved out of Aubrey, kind of like Highland Park's carved out of Dallas. And there's not a lot of shopping here. We're right at the 7-Eleven, and you can see the water tower behind me there. And also behind me, you can see this little area that's coming in. It's going to have some shops and some dining. And on the other corner is going to be some houses, but also some other property that if you're interested in commercial, you can call me about. But this is going to be a nice little addition to Providence Village. And the street here at Fish Trap is also being widened. So this is going to function a lot better in a few years. This is the town hall at Providence Village. And right across the street from me is another nice lake. Providence Village is full of these beautiful lakes. It's just nice to be outside here. But there isn't a whole lot of nightlife, things like that. But for kids, it's great. They can run up and down the street and go to the pool, and people get golf carts, ride around in those. It's an adorable community. Do be careful about police in this area. They do watch your speed. They do watch that you stop at the stoplights. A lot of that's because the kids are out running around. So this is Providence Village. That's it. Okay, I wanted to show quickly what's happening across the street here. Right behind me is going to be a Sprouts in Providence Village. We already have an Aldi's. And there's also going to be another gas station with a lot of shops over there. So this is going to be a great little corner at the corner of 380 and Main Street. So we have a great Circle K over here. It's very clean, got a lot of options. Providence Village is great for families, great for little kids. It's an affordable price point, and just the style of the community is really quite beautiful. I'll have to show you some of those properties. Now, I thought I heard a rooster, and you see them? Little birds right there. There they are, chickens, several kinds of birds. Here, mostly chickens. So this is the front, little wine barrel. Doesn't look like a lot, but you know, you can come here on the weekend. There is not a lot of nightlife in Providence Village, so this gets very full Friday and Saturday night, especially when the weather's nice and their giant patios open. And sometimes on Saturday night they have dancing lessons. That's a lot of fun. You really don't have to be a wine lover to come here. They also have sangrias, which are more fruity, and they're very well known for their wood-fired pizza. So the pizza is great. There's also nice dessert pizza I've had before, or you can get a charcuterie board. But it's really nice to just come and enjoy being outside, talking to your friends, live music, and really good wine. Here's some of the ducks. Oh, in Providence Village, we love our ducks. This is a whole duck family, and I'm so close to them. We have duck crossing signs even. So these are very special members of the community here. These are special vineyard ducks. These ducks are in a row. How about that? Maybe that's a sign of things to come in my life. And look at this turkey. Look at him showing off his feathers. Wow. Look at you. You are beautiful. Oh, hear that gaggling? Another turkey's back there gaggling. And we got a rooster. Look at this. Look at these. Oh, this is so neat. All these birds just coexist. Look at that. See, whether you're a turkey or a chicken or a pigeon or a duck, we just coexist in Providence Village. It really doesn't matter. Well, these two look like they might be having words. Maybe I spoke too soon. We have a brown turkey, a white turkey, and a black turkey. And a black and white turkey. Another little video of my little friends here. So we have brown turkey, black turkey, white turkey, a black and white turkey. And I don't know, I just didn't realize some of the things turkeys do. I've heard the phrase, you're acting like a turkey, and now it makes more sense. Because they're just kind of like in each other's business over here. I forgot to mention Mr. Rooster, but there he is. Mr. Turkey kind of steals the show. And look at this guy. Look at that guy. Look at him. Here is the front patio. I think sometimes maybe events happen out here too. It's a nice weather. And there's a little separate room over here, but this is where you walk in. They've got another room there, and you can see a little wine press. Well, let's go in and see if we can get something to eat. So I came on a day they're actually closed, but the owner let me in. I guess I didn't look threatening. And this is the inside. I've seen baby showers over here. And you come out this way. You order your wine at the front here. He just told me they go through 300 pizzas in a weekend.
On a good weather day, on a good weather weekend, yeah.
This weekend there's going to be a crawfish boil. So you can check the website. This is sort of semi-enclosed. Well, you have to pull all this plastic back because when I've been here,
yeah, we put the plastic up when it's cold, so that's coming down probably the next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
well, enjoy.
Here's the backyard. I've been in the chapel before. It's a chapel, and there's little places you can stay back here. So you can get a little cabana area with your friends if you want. Reserve that. A lot of seating. I have not yet sat in front of the fire, but one of these days I'm going to be here early enough to sit there. And there's a little area over here where they have musicians play. So I've seen that before. This is it. You don't want to miss it. I came on a great time because I got to see the little birdies.
Hey, and until next time, you can watch some more videos here.